Hi, my name is Deborah and I'm the artist behind the Timeless Crane. I make origami mobiles. I started in 2007 just for fun, and then I started trying to sell them, and I started on eBay, and I found out that was a really bad place to try to sell handmade products. And then I started my own website and opened up an Etsy shop, and I also sell on Amazon Handmade and Wayfair now. So from when I started making mobiles, it took me about 3 years to finalize the design that I use right now. So to come up with something that I could reproduce consistently, and I really liked the way it looked and the layout and everything, that took me 3 years. And then in 2015, I switched from using aluminum wire to stainless steel. I like the way it looks a lot better, really shiny and beautiful. And I also like that, it's got that little spring to it. And then I also, in 2016, I started folding with scrapbooking paper. I always have loved going to Michael's, and I love the paper section there. And I never had a reason to buy scrapbook paper, but then when I started using it to fold, then it kind of opened up this whole new world of possibilities for me, so it's very exciting. When I first started making mobiles, most of them were paper crane mobiles, which was fine with me because I love folding paper cranes. But then I started experimenting with different themes. Like I made a safari mobile and an ocean mobile. I made one with dragons and also with butterflies. And then people started emailing me and they were asking if I could do different custom themes. So I made flowers and butterflies. I made a barn animal mobile that had a little barn, also had like stars and a moon. And then one of my all-time favorites was one with maple leaves. So it was different shades of green, and there was just cascading maple leaves just falling. I love that one. And then I made some with stars, and I made cars and airplanes and a Godzilla themed mobile. I also made teddy bears and garden insects. So I also made a John Deere mobile, and it had like yellow and green deer, and they were all like in the pose of the John Deere logo. So now more recently I've made other mobiles with like these other themes that tend to be like more popular, more on trend, like the woodland mobile, and I've made a unicorn mobile which has unicorns. Some have wings and they have gold horns and gold wings, and they're glittery and sparkly, so really cute. And then I've also made one for a friend that had swans on it with lily pads and dragonflies that had iridescent wings. That was really pretty. So I've made one that's Asian jungle themed. It has little panda bears and they're climbing on bamboo. And I've also made one that has strawberries. Those little strawberries are so cute. They look good enough to eat. Okay, I really like that one. That was really recent. I also made one that was puppy themed. So there were puppies and frogs and dragonflies, and it was for like a little baby boy's nursery. And I also made one that's Paris. It was Paris birthday. So there was the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre, and also ballet slippers. There were hearts and stars and a birthday cake. So that one was a lot of fun to make. I've made several dinosaur mobiles. Those are really cool. I made one for my nephew because he loves dinosaurs. One of the most complex mobiles I've ever made was Wind in the Willow themed, and that's a book, and it had like a horse, it had a car and a frog, and I had to design my own little mushrooms and flowers and all that, and so it was really complicated and it was very amazing. I loved that one. Anytime I get a request for a new theme, it means I have to learn how to fold new models. So I have to do research. I have to figure out what am I going to fold, where am I going to find instructions for these things. I usually start by looking for instructions for models that are already in existence. Now, places that I'll look for instructions, I will look through my books. I have a collection of origami books, so if I know that there's a certain diagram for something that I want and it's in such and such a book, I'll look, I'll find it, and I can use that one. I'll also use Google, so I'll look, just Google whatever it is that I'm looking for and see what comes up. I also like to use Pinterest. There's a lot of really cool diagrams on there that you won't necessarily find in other places. And then as a last resort, I go to YouTube. Now YouTube tends to have like video tutorials on how to fold things. And I actually really strongly dislike video tutorials for origami. For several reasons. I'm not going to get into them right now because I could just go off on that tangent. But I will use YouTube, like if I really can't find something, or if the only place I can find the instructions are on YouTube. So when I'm searching for a model, I look for something that is easy to fold. Now when I say easy to fold, I don't mean like 3 folds, you're done. I mean like, it's not going to take me more than, half an hour to refold it once I've learned how to make it. I also want something that looks realistic, that looks like what it's supposed to be. I don't want a horse that ends up looking like a donkey, or a shark that could be confused for a dolphin. I want it to look like what it's supposed to look like. Also, I like to find things that are 3-dimensional, because in the mobile you'll see the model from all sorts of different angles and you want it to look good from every direction. I also look for something that is in action, like let's say if it's a flying creature, like a bird, you don't want a bird that's just sitting on a perch. You want a bird that's in flight. You want a dragon that's flying, things like that, or a horse that's galloping. So I will be reviewing origami models. This is not a tutorial, it's not a step-by-step, this is how to fold something from beginning to end. I will show you some tips and tricks for any of the difficult folds, any spots that are hard to follow the instructions, but I will not teach you how to fold the whole thing from beginning to end. This is a review. I will go through several models. I will show you, like, this is why I like this model, these are the reasons, these are the nice things about this model, these are the things that are not so great about the model. I will show you where to find instructions to fold these models and similar ones. So if I choose to do an elephant, let's say, I'll also show you where you can find instructions for other elephants that maybe didn't work for what I needed. We'll also be discussing the types of paper to use. Some models you can fold with thinner paper or thicker paper, and I'll tell you where you can find those papers. So basically, I'm going to be telling you all the things that I wish someone had told me when I was starting out. I'll be reviewing a new origami diagram every week, so make sure you come and subscribe. You can follow along, and I have a whole list of models I already want to go over, but if you have any suggestions for anything different, anything new that you want to see, make sure you comment below. And also, I'm here to pass on my wealth of knowledge and experience to you guys. So anything you want to know, just ask. All right, and I'll see you next week. Bye. One of those that I wish I could remake, or yes, that's my cat. And and then I made a John Deere mobile. So hey, you can like, subscribe, all that, and I really hope to see you again next week here on the Timeless Crane TV. Bye.